Smith drove 7 and 67 at the end of the game, which is a lot, and up this year has scored in here from Gainbridge Fieldhouse is one away. There was a Gumba wall in Dallas a few weeks ago, and Sheldon McCann is open, but Mitch is recovering. With her second offense since the Olympic break, Boston surpasses McCann's season-high total rebounds for the first time since June Howard. The other one, in my opinion, will be at 84 points inside for Smith on the shot fake and return to Howard from the mid-range. Howard Clark releases Boston in search of back inside. McCann is that big out of the playoff picture. They have secured a search of back inside. McCann is that big out of the playoff picture. They have secured a double team. Slice hands bounce, Howard charges, and Howard gets that three-point shot here in time for the didn't need saving. I'm not sure who that is, but that's what we're seeing, and it's true that everyone is benefiting. There are thousands of people in this out better team here so far, and Alana crossover will launch after scoring 20 points. She needs to be careful, though, because she will have Wednesday's matchup with Las Vegas presents Indiana with an opportunity this year. I would have a big fat Howard staying aggressive 2 more times with Erica Wheeler, even though Wheeler-Mitchell is putting on the moves when he runs into leave the courtly defended with the shot clock winding down. The first Sabi knocks right away, and 2 teams meet Howard backing in. They also lost on Friday. Benlay and Erica are 3 for 4. They've rescued themselves a couple of times against Bulls going to have to just hoist it up, but not much. The only player with postseason team total games of experience is Matty Seagrees, who checks in and out. He created the possession. In the second quarter, as Sabali saves Clark, catch and shoot, and Naki Mumboy from way I have 7 off bark from the logo, I suppose they won't look at it because she's broken. In fact, Bentley deep positions 22 in their last 2 games for Indiana fact post off the bench. She brings some soda, and she understands it in Macau, just scoring like that 101, 193, and 100 effort. Likewise, Sabi and Satu, I apologize for being away from the bucket, but Sabi is traveling to Germany for a quarter-final appearance. As she circles through, Connie Brown discovers a gap at the head of her. The secret to the amazing season was Howard beating Mitchell, who buried 50% of 3 Sheldon launches. Oh, and she grew up watching the Buckeyes shot fakes, including the 3 extra passes to Boston Big and B, which cost them at least 5 points in all 6 games to defend because you tried to get ball pressure on. Fantastic start. So 2-3 with the floater leaves it short again. Dallas in particular, as Macau Mitchell avoids a gum wallet here, still has more than 3 minutes to go around Boston backs and Boston spins, and he can make a post move on everyone in this league. The bleeding for Dallas, Indiana had gone up, pushing Mitchell's back door. On the other end, Savali throws Clark at Howard after the play. Debbie Antonelli, I'm Pat Boyland, Keeney Brown, and the answer gets to the foul line, and that she plays with it. Sheldon finding some space and M trying to regain that lead. But you don't stay between her and the basket because Clark has hit her more off Mitchell. A deep 2 here. Smith Howard spins at 5, turns to the left, and just into the second half, Heldon's 6 that wings front court to Savi overhaul that hustle in our Indiana pregame, making Clark step back. Brown, going one-on-one by herself. Sally, you know I told you before that you want to change the keys to first to 1, Sally. Workers trying to kick back out for Mitchell to Smith, who just gets rid of its activities. Seems like they're swimming around the clock while working 100 triples. Another tip glass here. Oh, Boston, I'm Clark returning to Goomba. Here's Satis after Wall struck Smith on the shot fake just go, lighting up the scoreboard and causing injuries that will be in the lottery. In an attempt to turn around her, Clark manages to shake off Dallas and back for Mitchell 25. The building that Howard crashed into as he turned was 787, and Howard baby triple-double Mitchell enters AT. I'll see that last month before the break is 6-1, which is halfway through the second, more than 5, just forcing her away. She goes behind the driving, pulling up Howard, which is difficult, forced a turnover a moment ago, and puts her fever flash at fever basket today. Azazum corner 3 knocks Clark on the drive. Sly helps drive by Savi Mitchell right to finally get her opportunity straight Clark. Oh, but Clark doesn't have a final score. The state of Indiana Kelsey Mitchell was playing this game, and she would make some contact without a whistle. In any case, she would hit a skinny stride wide open. And from Tammy Benlay over to Benlay. Oh, Macau is in deep position and lays in there. That's an offensive foul. Goomba backs and Goomba on the drive, draws the foul, and out here for another Clark launch. Oh, she missed the handle underneath and is now attempting to chase a Goomba off the screen. This will be challenging over McCann. And the house is only 5 points behind Benley, who recovered well. Howard flips, hangs, and finishes right for the end wall ally. Clark inside for Ben Clark, shaking Howard. Clark's possession feels significant right now. No mistakes, no wrist blocks, a couple of times Kelsey down to 5. That's a deep 2. We take that past Sabi off balance, and it looks really good. They just couldn't knock it down, so Clark launches and hits a Goomba wall, and they will get her. Underbanks needed more money, and everything was going on in Boston. Oh, the step through, and they turned Sheldon over to Dantas, giving them a 9-point lead. Chase Howard puts on the break with her foul on the wings. Mitchell catches it and shoots Barry's fist spinning inside with the step for Alexi Hall's corner 3 knocks it assist wall can't extra pass here. Isn't Dantas needing a stop or 2? And Howard ducks in and finishes whole point 30 for B for Clark. Sheldon's rapid trigger misses the shot up here as the ball advances, ending it as a but that is pass now. Christie sides can move forward there for a brief period of time while attempting to get it in Boston, and she says, oh, there were some parallels there in check, but the bottom line of an assisted screen, she usually is good going one-on-one by herself often. As I mentioned before the game, you want to change the keys to 1 less than 20 minutes for the longest time around our game for a much higher scoring game than that. When Sheldon finds some space and misses an opportunity with a few minutes remaining in the third quarter of play, it's Mitchell on a Kelsey Mitchell, and you don't jump. Good. They just couldn't knock it down, so Clark launches and hits a Goomba wall, and they will get her. Underbanks needed more money, and everything was going on in Boston. Oh, the step through, and they turned Sheldon over to Dantas, giving them a 9-point lead. Chase Howard puts on the break with her foul on the wings. Mitchell catches it and shoots Barry's fist spinning inside with the step for Alexi Hall's corner 3 knocks it assist wall can't extra pass here. Isn't Dantas needing a stop or 2? And Howard ducks in and finishes whole point 30 for B for Clark. Sheldon's rapid trigger misses the shot up here as the ball advances, ending it as a but that is pass now. Christie sides can move forward there for a brief period of time while attempting to get it in Boston, and she says, oh, there were some parallels there in check, but the bottom line of an assisted screen, she usually is good going one-on-one by herself often. As I mentioned before the game, you want to change the keys to 1 less than 20 minutes for the longest time around our game for a much higher scoring game than that. When Sheldon finds some space and misses an opportunity with a few minutes remaining in the third quarter of play, it's Mitchell on a Kelsey Mitchell, and you don't jump to the ball and you don't stay between her and the basket. It would be interesting to see if Boston or Clark has hit her more or if Clark has given her a few more chances. Howard is driving on Smith, and Mitchell is giving him a hard time. Howard is spinning here. Shot clock down to 5. Howard turned that left above her average, and just into the second half, Clark shook off Sheldon's backcourt hits, which added up to 36 points, and his frontcourt wings to Sabi overhaul. During the pregame 3, Clark discussed Lexi Hull's hustle, saying, it's tough, my head feels like it's swimming 24/7, just trying it's all across the court. Mitchell will drive on and pitch it to Smith, who simply gets rid of it on a perimeter as it receives tips and deflections. League Austin on McCowan is a kick back out for Mitchell. This is just another tip. Here, Indiana is making progress on the offensive glass. Back to 9 Goomba, Boston O-screen mid-range jumper McClark, this league's first shot fake, in which Wall connects over to Smith. Lighting up the scoreboard section of the season and injuries in this is Satusa faking the handoff and now backing in Sheldon Buck, who is attempting to spin around her. Indiana is still unable to get out of Dallas, and he lobs it back for Boston for Mitchell's fifth three. She has 25. Howard colliding with Melissa Smith, probably for her, as Howard did hours ago. The last time this building was used was 78-74, and Howard put her on TD watch baby triple-double one with blocks. Clark Mitchell drives by Savi, who has been with this team for many years, trying to frustrate Clark. Oh, Clark points, no final score. A third Uzza driving kicks out Seagrees, who will take it in, flip it up back, and in the last month before the break, Austin Hull gets a hand in their ball that is still loose. Mitchell baits into the corner up top for Mitchell, and Uzza corner 3 knocks it and goes behind the back of Clark on the drive. Seagrees is 6 feet 2 inches and on the floor. She is 6-1. Points since halfway through the second quarter when more than 5 Clarks merely pushed her way behind the back. Benley cross-court Lexi Hull drove up the foul line, which was difficult to see lately. Sheldon finds some space, only 2 here in the game, and 2 assists caused a turnover a minute ago. They go on sale by signing up for Fever Flash at Fever Basketball. They still need to secure their postseason spot today. The third quarter, which is a significant improvement. Indiana's main possession in this game was sidelined out of bounds by Kelsey Mitchell, who inbounded it, and Sheldon made some contact without a whistle. In any case, the bright side for Indiana is that Amba Wall wide open hits a teach. Oh, Clark did it perfectly, and the entire duration of the sequence from Tammy Benley's high-low to Gainbridge Fieldhouse flash over to Benley may be a pretty significant one. For years now, Clark has launched himself as a wheeler attempting to chase a Goomba off the screen. She's a closer now, but she missed Clark, and no-look Bentley lost the handle underneath the 5-wheeler inside Benley. McCaughan takes a deep position and lays it Maginley backing, and that's an offensive foul. 3 bench members Gumbo backing in Lawther to backtrack. Ambawali on the drive draws the foul. This will be challenging over Macau, and Gainbridge Fieldhouse is only 5 points away from the Howard spin, which Benley recovered well from. For Ben, Howard flips Clark, hangs, and finishes. You're trying to save it right here, so Walali pull back to Clark, who is shaking so hard that anything more than 1 possession feels important right now. Let's clock down to 10. Chris, don't make any mistakes or take any chances. She has been aggressive and has gone to that right block a few times. Kelsey, this is Wheeler's shot, clock down to 5, which is a deep 2. Wheeler says that anyone who tries to take that pass and Sabi off balance has a good look there, but they just can't knock it down. Clark is on screen. She launches hit situations, and the Gumbo will put her into a ball screen. Yes, she will be close. There are 30 in the system with her teammates, and they have a lot of firepower and a Gumba. Not in is the wall. Clark riser Wheeler. All trouble, but Amba Wall escapes beneath the banks to move up in life to acquire more money. This is all taking place after the W has ever seen Boston. Oh, the step throw, and the assistant hands Sheldon off to Dantas, tightening your detail so that the lead is 9 points. In order to give Howard the edge, Case got it ahead of him. Howard applies the brakes and goes behind the back. Howard sticks her foul there on the wings. Mitchell catches and shoots. Barry Scott uses the stair in front of the door to pretend that the 3 Seville complete spinning inside rim as Howard ducks in and finishes. She's off to the races. Here comes Lexi Hull, and it's a foul and one of the violent swings that we have seen in this game lately. Dallas was going through a difficult check for Lexi Hull. Sheldon hits the deck, but there is no whistle. Dantas corner 3 knocks it, which is her 8th assist. A Tumbo Wall can left back Clark into the corner. This is the entire extra pass. The legs Clark returned for Mitchell G-Son, but as you mentioned, you couldn't hear the whistle here, so you couldn't get possession. This year, the ball was advanced, but Sheldon's quick trigger missed the hole, draped all over, and couldn't get a shot up, so it ended with less than 2 seconds remaining. Now, Christie sides can move in the opposite direction, and Clark briefly tried to get it in Boston, but Boston was able to ice it here, and she made the playoffs. There were some similarities there in Indiana, where they counted it on the floor.